Hello everybody and welcome to Minehead. Now as you just saw then, I didn't have very long hair to start with. However today I'm going to be sampling the 2024 Exmoor Coaster. Now originally when the service started it ran all through the year. However in the last few years First Bus along with the Buses of Somerset have been determined to absolutely ruin it, as we'll find out later on. So at the moment, for the least, it is only running in the summertime. Anyway, since it's summertime, I thought I would go out and sample the Exmoor Coaster on its peak timetable. So here we are, coming into one of the villages along the route, Porlock. Here we are arriving into Porlock. As you can see, we had to leave a load of people at the main bus stop in Porlock for another hour, as for some reason this year the bus service has been reduced from every 30 minutes to every hour. Now the Exmoor Coaster every year is getting more and more popular. I've travelled on the service since 2022. I think it started up in maybe 2021, but it definitely ran in 2022, and the service, although it was busy, it wasn't actually that busy. However, in the last few years, the bus service has gone absolutely rammed, so it doesn't help that the Buses of Somerset have reduced the number of services. However, it's not their fault. Now originally when I first travelled on the Exmoor Coaster, when it used to run all the way to Watchet, they had a number of open top buses, with there being a mixture of Enviro 400s, Wright Geminis and Scanias. Now unfortunately all of the Geminis have transferred to other places across First South West, with a number of Geminis going to Cornwall and with one or two of them heading down to Weymouth to run on the Jurassic coasters. Anyway, we only have one Scania Omni City left, as the other one was involved in an accident and they repaired it, and then they decided that they repaired it too well, so in the end they went and sold it. So we now only have one Scania and a mixture of random Enviro 400s, which are mainly absolutely knackered and are transferred down from London. Anyway, here we are on top of Exmoor after climbing Porlock Hill, which is why the route is so famous. Since this bus was running quite late due to the amount of people wanting to use the service, I ended up changing here at the Lindale Coach Park in Lynmouth. However, that didn't matter anyway, since the bus ended up ending its journey here, since the bus had overheated going up Porlock Hill. Now, I don't know if you can make it out in some of the videos, however, most of the ex-London vehicles were sounding very tired, especially on this day that I was filming it. Now, in the last few years, the Enviro 400s have been coping quite well, however, they're now starting to show their age. Anyway, here we are at Lynmouth, which is a beautiful place. next London Enviro 400 that I had travelled on from Minehead. Most of the Exmoor Coaster bus services run between Blue Anchor and Lynmouth, with a mixture of other buses continuing on to Combe Martin and Ilfracombe, which is what my bus was supposed to do. Here is a Villas Travel right street light arriving into the now congested Lindale Coach Park on a journey from Barnstaple. When the Exmoor Coaster isn't running, Villas Travel are the only bus operators to serve this area of the southwest. Here is my next bus arriving into Lynmouth, which is the bus I was supposed to have caught in Barbrook. This Enviro 400 was extremely dirty and sounded absolutely knackered. Anyway, for this leg of the journey I decided to sit back down on the lower level. I'm going to be taking this all the way to the middle of nowhere, the Exmoor County Gate, the border between Devon and Somerset. Very isolated village of Countersbury. Along with many other villages and hamlets in this area, when the Exmoor Coaster isn't operating, Countersbury gets no form of public transport. However, it is quite close to Lynmouth, so I suppose you could either walk down the hill or drive. However, I wouldn't really suggest walking down the hill. Arriving at the Exmoor County Gate. There goes our absolutely knackered Enviro 400 on its way back to Minehead and Blue Anchor. Now, I was a little bit nervous about this part of the trip, however the scenery here was absolutely amazing. I didn't really care anymore if I got stranded. The scenery was fantastic. So if you are in the area when the Exmoor Coaster is running, or even if you just have a car, come to the Exmoor County Gate and just enjoy the scenery. Now, on the day I went, it was not too hot but also not too cold. On the top of Exmoor there was a little breeze, so I absolutely enjoyed my time here. Anyway, my time was short-lived, as my next bus soon emerged from the clouds, which was another Enviro 400, which I'll be taking all the way to Combe Martin. bus station had gotten even more congested, as there were now 2 Dart Line coaches filling up most of the bays, along with a mixture of other buses, including my broken down bus and a few caravans. Anyway, we did manage to make it into the coach park, and we managed to take the final spot. Anyway, here we are leaving the Lindale Coach Park on our way back to Combe Martin. Here we are leaving Lynmouth on our way up to Barbrook. Now, although the scenery on Linton Hill is absolutely amazing, just watch out for the motorists, since they are absolute dumbasses. It also doesn't help that the hill is very narrow. You'll be seeing more of the Linton shenanigans a bit later on. However, as for now, I decided to speed up this part of the video, as this part just took forever and made the bus very late. Passing through a rather quaint Barbrook. Although the village didn't look as nice as Linton, Lynmouth and Lynn Bridge, the place was very interesting. However, I wasn't too sure where the bus stop was, so I'm quite glad I didn't attempt to get off here. Closely the old preserved Linton and Barnstaple Railway. This narrow gauge line runs on selected days throughout the year and is certainly an enjoyable visit. However, the Exmoor Coaster times aren't exactly great here. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get off or get on at the Linton and Barnstaple Railway. However, if you do have the opportunity, just be prepared for a 2-hour wait. Bus is supposed to go into the car park. However, since nobody wanted to use the service here, we just ended up going straight by. We are on the outskirts of Combe Martin, passing the well-known wildlife and dinosaur park. Here we are arriving into Combe Martin. Now on a map, Combe Martin looks very small. However, this is actually a very long and twisty village, so I just decided to get off at a random bus stop, which meant I didn't actually get to explore much of the village centre. Anyway, there goes this Enviro 400 on its way back to Ilfracombe. In Combe Martin. Although I had a little bit of time in the village, I didn't have all the time in the world. So in the end, I gave up on looking for the village centre and settled on the local co-op, where I managed to get a few snacks for lunch. Anyway, here I am at a bus stop, but the bus stop sign wasn't quite visible from the road, so I just flagged down the bus and hoped he would stop. And he did. And this actually wasn't an ex-London Enviro 400. This is an Enviro 400 that used to operate in Cornwall on the Land's End Coaster. So this Enviro 400 actually sounded quite nice and had a very cool interior. places for another time. Here is my Enviro 400 at a very busy Lindale coach park. As you can see, because the bus had recently transferred from First Kerno, it didn't actually have any Exmoor Coaster branding. Now, although that bus was bound for Blue Anchor, it actually had to wait for the other bus to come down the hill. So I actually had quite a long changeover here. So I decided to go and explore some of the town. Now, although it's not a nothing kind of place, there isn't exactly that much there. However, it is a very beautiful place. If you want to see more of beautiful Lynmouth and a few of the other places along the Exmoor Coaster, watch out for part 2.